Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to do all the maintenance on the Dreame X60 Max Ultra. Now I did buy this robot vacuum cleaner with my own money. I bought all the parts with my own money. This video is not paid for or sponsored. But I do use links. So if you purchase this robot or any of the accessories that I talk about off of my website or this video, I am an Amazon affiliate. The product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. I'll put all the links to all the parts on my website, justadadapproved.com. Now this is a very new robot, and right now the generic parts are not available, but I've got the OEM parts. Thankfully, the Max Ultra Complete does come with a whole another added accessory kit, which is about a $150 add-on. Now this is one of the most expensive robots to operate a year, coming out to about $370 a year or about $30 a month. Again, I don't have any generic parts yet. It's just too new, but I will be updating this on my website whenever I get some generics and if they test to be okay. A lot of generics are not very good. I'll only put the ones on my website that I approve of. So in this video, we're going to be replacing the filter, the mop pads, the brush rollers. I'm going to show you how to replace the dust bag, and we're going to clean the actual robot. All right, let's start off by turning the robot off. Press the power button for about 8 seconds, and it's going to power down. Let's take the clean water tank out and the dirty water tank. Let's go give these a good scrubbing. Up here's been doing a pretty good job. We may need to wipe that off a little bit. Let's take a look at the dust bag. Grab this, pull this. You're going to just simply slide this out. That closes off, and you throw this away, and you're going to install a new one about every 2 months. Now, mine is completely full. Now, a question I get asked a lot of times is, do vacuum cleaners actually work? Well, let's cut my dust bag open and see. This has been at my home for almost 2.5 months, and wow, it has done an excellent job. I do have a pet. I have a dog that brings lots of dirt in, so lots of fine particles. She even brings a lot of cedar chips in, so robot vacuum cleaners do actually work. Okay, so you're gonna take the new bag, kind of hold it like this, make sure that is down so the opening is there, and then you're gonna slide this in. Sometimes it gets stuck on that little thing right there, but it should go down. Make sure the sides are flush. Make sure the bag didn't get caught in the track, and then just kind of put it here. Here's the solution. It did not use, well, actually it did use up all the pet solution. The other solution, there's still quite a bit left. I will put a link to the solution where you can buy it. And again, everything, all the tools I'm using, everything will be in the description and on my website, justadadapproved.com. All right, let's put this back, put the top ears in first and then rotate it and click it. All right, here's the mop pads. You can see they get pretty flat, and you can freshen them up. By putting these in your laundry, you can freshen them up. They capture a lot of dirt. That will get an extra, maybe an extra month out of them. These are in pretty good shape. Make sure the swivel works. Down here, there's a filter. We're gonna take this to the sink. Now this is a self-cleaning dock. You can see this area I have not touched, so this area stays really clean. Down here, we've got to clean that. We may need to wipe some of that off. This is done pretty good. That's from the third wheel. I'll wipe that off. I found this scrubbing bubbles. Just spray some down in that little chamber. Let it soak, and we'll come back and wipe it off. Now, one thing about the mop pads, these are the ones, this came with it as a kit, and they're different. So these are more expensive. These are maybe like a better design that kind of absorb water a little bit better. These are the standard Dreame ones. They do okay, but you will have to spend a little bit more money for the one with the blue circle. Now we're gonna wipe the sensors down, and you should be doing this about every 30 hours. Just get you a lint-free cloth. This one is pretty dirty right there. Come around back. This is even a sensor right here. All right. Let's flip it over while we're doing sensors. These are the Cliff sensors. There's one here, here, here. There's a black one right there and right there. Let's grab the dustbin and the dustbin filter. Now this filter is a completely redesign. Yeah, there's a big hand. Even I have a hard time with this sometimes. There's a big handle here. Grab that handle, take this off. This is my first time seeing how this did. Now, this, I did not clean mine. This should be cleaned every couple weeks. So I kind of fell behind on the maintenance, and you can see but they're reusable. So you can wash it, let it dry in the sun. I would definitely get some extra ones. That way you can keep using it. So we're going to go clean this. Actually, it didn't do too bad. I was a little worried about this design with the airflow and all this being different, but it looks pretty good. We're going to wash this out. It didn't vacuum up too much water. Next, let's do the side brush. We're going to hold the arm. We're going to unscrew. It's a number 1 Phillips. It's in pretty good shape. I don't have any hair wrap there. So grab the new one. Now these have a tendency to fall off sometimes if you don't tighten this screw. So you got to tighten it to the point where you're almost going to break it. So there, okay, so now hold everything. Hold the orange part and just really, okay, there. It's tight. We can look at the robotic. That needs a little dusting. So it doesn't hurt to get like a brush. There's a lot going on with these robotic feet right here. I'll even put a link to this in the show description notes. This is my air gun that works. It charges with USB-C. We'll wipe this off. Let's turn our attention now to the brush roller. We're going to clean this. It's pretty dirty. Lift this straight up, or no, at an angle out. We need to wipe this off. It has sucked up some water and created some crust there. We want to be very careful of this membrane. There's a really thin membrane right here you do not want to damage. These are actually in pretty good shape. They're just extremely dirty, so you can pull it off. Here's what a new one looks like. And unless this thing starts to chip, which that's not chips, that's just dirt, we can clean these up really good. This I may just blow off or use my little brush. There's a pivot point, there's a bearing surface in there. I'm not going to wash that per se. So everything I'm going to show you here, I do have on my website with links, justadadapproved.com. This is a really good OXO brush. The cleaning solution I'm going to use. So the dirty water tank, these things really stink. So I like to spray scrubbing bubbles. And then I got a little cleaning hack. So every time you empty this, you don't have to clean it every time, but put an Effordent tablet or a denture cleaning tablet in the bottom every time you empty that. Now this is probably the most satisfying job that I have. It's the reusable filter. Again, they're meant to be cleaned. You don't have to use any chemicals, but you do have to let it dry on a heat register or out in the sun. Now the next thing is, these get pretty dirty. I like to use this. This helps get grease and grime off. Let's just get everything soaking really good. All right, and this brush just works. These things get so dirty. So we can get some extra life out of them just by cleaning them really good. But again, these will have to dry too. And the best place is in the sun, or if it's in the winter, on a heat register. A little filter here. This brush just works great. It's just the right angle. Again, I'll put a link to it on my website, justadadapproved.com, under cleaning robots. And you can find it also in this video. All right, let's clean the dustbin. And there's a little cleaning trick I'm going to show you, but the dustbin, we want to make sure and check this trap door real good. I would like to get more access in there, but that's about it. It's pretty small. These don't require a whole lot of cleaning. And don't forget the black one here. It's really dirty. Now, if you're like me and you're in a hurry, you can use this blower. Again, I just really do like it. It's still a good idea to let them dry a little bit on a register, but you can get them pretty well dry with this blower. Now the filter, you're not going to get the filter completely dry with this. You can come real close. This really helps with the dustbin. And give the robot, be careful of the carpet sensor. Don't blow air directly in there. Get a wet cloth. You're going to wipe this. You're going to spend some time on this. That's crusty. We have to let it soak. And then don't forget down here that we let this it usually cleans up pretty easy. Yeah. We'll wipe this off. We'll get this all nice and clean. Okay, so I got new mop pads. I'm going to be able to reuse these. So those need changed about once every 6 months probably. New filter I'm going to put in. I wiped all of this down. And we're in good shape. This is all clean. Let's put, that just goes back in like that. Okay, let's put, now if you look at the color, there's a gray color. Slide that on. And then slide that onto the orange one. I should have tried those off a little bit more. Cleaning this area was kind of tricky. There is a door that comes up for carpet cleaning. So cleaning that area, get a little towel. Now with this, you're going to find the arrows. Then you're going to go in at an angle. You may have to turn it. But when it should be, those things will be nice and flush down there. Now take the door, put the front ears in, kind of wiggle it, and you should hear a click, click. So a trick with these mop pads, you want to make that's Velcro. So make sure it's engaged. You got to really push down all the way. And you simply just snap them on. If they don't go on, you can just put them in the base station. The robot will attach them itself. Yeah, they don't feel like the robot's turned off. So you can just take this and you can just set them right there in the middle. This all cleaned up really nice. Let's take the filter. Again, this is a new one. Put these ears in and then rotate it till it clicks. Then you simply just push it in, nice and flush. Then we're going to turn the robot on, press and hold the power button for about 5 or 6 seconds. You should see the lights breathe. Okay, let's go into the settings. It's a little hidden, but it's different. So it's called consumables. So the filter, I did replace it, but you should clean that every couple weeks. You don't reset it until you actually replace it. Side brush, I had a little bit more time on it, but I did replace it. It didn't need replaced, but main brush, I'm not going to reset that. Mop, disposable. The sensors, I did clean those. So this thing has been an absolute pleasure to have at my home. It's definitely going to be Just a Dad approved. 68 cycles, 5,244 minutes. As you can see, well, this was some testing that I was doing. So I was doing a bunch of testing where I would start and stop it. So, but it did have a bunch of green area, you know, when it would do the whole house. It definitely never had hardly any problems of getting back to the base station. As you can see, here's the map of my home, and I don't think I've got I don't have any no-go zones. Pretty incredible. So my very next video is going to be, should you buy this Dreame X60? I definitely am going to recommend it. There are a few things that I didn't necessarily like about it, and I'll go over those, but it's an excellent robot. It's a flagship robot. It's super expensive. I will be comparing it to the L50 and the X50, but really, you know, it's hard to beat a Mova V50. Right now, that robot vacuum cleaner today is $700. The Mova V50 is probably still my #1 pick for best overall. Mova P10 Pro is $400. That's an amazing price point. You don't have some of the advanced features that I like, but wow, it's a great robot. So again, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. I'll try to find some generics for this to try to save some money, but I got to test them first and see if they're going to work out okay. So those will eventually show up on my website, justadadapproved.com. And again, you can find all the robots that have already passed my testing, and you want to save some money, justadadapproved.com. Sign up for my email list. When the Mova V50 went on sale this week for $700, that's the lowest price I've seen, I sent an email out. That's a robot that I highly recommend and has tremendous savings. So again, justadadapproved.com. Sign up for the email. Thanks everybody for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Also check out where you can find all my approved products on my website, justadadapproved.com. You'll see a little link to it here at the end of the video. If you click on that, that's going to take you right to my website.